We used to wait months for letters. Now we rage when a text takes 10 seconds. We used to master crafts over decades. Now we quit after 2 weeks of slow progress. We've built a civilization that worships speed, a world where time no longer measures mastery. Once, time was a companion, a patient teacher that rewarded those who waited. Today, time feels like the enemy, a delay, an obstacle, a glitch in your rush for results. You've mistaken speed for progress, confused immediacy for importance, and in so doing, one of humanity's oldest virtues. Patience is silently being eroded. We live in what I call the tyranny of now, a pervasive demand for instant gratification that has redefined what progress means, how you value effort, and ultimately, how you experience life. Before we begin, as usual, don't expect comfort. My job is not to make you comfortable, but to tell you the hard truth. This isn't about making you feel good. It's about waking you up to the lie that faster is better, and how the need for now has made you averse to patience. My ultimate goal is to bring out the best version of you, transform your mindset by challenging wrong illusions and perceptions, inspire positivity to the degree that you experience a mind shift, exponential growth, and you begin to live intentionally. So, before we dive deeper, please subscribe. Not for comfort, not for entertainment, but for the truth. Because we don't avoid reality here, we confront it, one uncomfortable truth at a time. And if that scares you, it means you're exactly where you need to be. Time, once the quiet crucible of mastery, has been twisted into a measure for delay. If it's not immediate, it's not efficient. If it requires effort, it's not worth it. But what if this speed, this constant striving for the instantaneous, is actually slowing you down where it matters most? Consider the craft of a master artisan. The sculptor who spends years perfecting their touch. The painter who mixes countless shades to capture perfection. The writer who toils over every sentence, every comma, every punctuation. Their value wasn't measured by how quickly they produced, but by the meticulous, unhurried dedication to their art. Their mastery was essentially linked to the time invested, the patience cultivated. Think about it. To get really good at something, you used to need time. Time was how you got better, how you built something real. These days, social media and the internet have changed how you see progress. You see the final success, the viral video, the finished project. But you don't always see the years of hard work, the mistakes, the quiet struggles, the pain. This gives you the illusion that success should be fast and easy. The idea that you can do many important things at once, multitasking, is one of the biggest lies of the instant gratification age. The modern world pushes this myth by giving you endless tools that demand your attention. A phone, a computer, 3 different communication apps, and social media feeds, all running simultaneously. This creates the illusion that the most productive person is the one juggling the most screens and responding to the most pings. But science tells us clearly that the human brain cannot truly multitask. Instead, what you call multitasking is just rapid task switching. You don't focus on 2 things at once. You quickly jump back and forth between them, which is incredibly wasteful. This panicked jumping between tasks comes with a huge mental cost. Every time you switch your focus, say from writing a report to checking a text message and back, your brain has to shut down one set of rules and reload the rules for the next task. This switch takes time and uses up valuable mental energy, a process called the switch cost. Because the tyranny of now makes you believe every message is urgent and every notification must be handled instantly. You feel busy and productive because you're moving so fast. But the truth is, you are wasting mental energy just on the act of switching. This leaves you mentally exhausted and prevents you from achieving any kind of deep quality work. The constant fragmentation of your focus directly corrupts the quality of your output. Deep work, the kind of work that creates value, solves complex problems, or truly advances a skill, requires uninterrupted focus for long stretches of time, often an hour or more. When you constantly break that focus to deal with the demands of the now, you remain stuck in the shallow end. To survive the tyranny of now, you must declare war on the myth of multitasking. This is not about trying to be a better juggler. It's about choosing single focus or monotasking as an act of resistance. You must intentionally block out time where you protect your attention fiercely, shutting off all distractions and dedicating your whole mind to one important task. The true danger of the instant gratification culture, the now, is not mere impatience. It is the fundamental collapse of direction. When acceleration replaces direction, you mistake frantic movement for genuine progress. The tyranny of now ensures that you are always optimizing for the simplest measure, speed, while the difficult foundational work of defining purpose is indefinitely postponed. You become a master at traveling fast, but tragically incompetent at choosing a meaningful destination, turning your high-speed life into nothing more than a powerful engine driving a ship without direction. This relentless demand for speed is the enemy of critical reflection. To maintain high velocity, you eliminate the pause, the moment of deliberate thought required to assess the trajectory, the moral cost, or the long-term consequence of an action. You move from task to task, decision to decision, in a continuous, breathless stream of reactivity, simply because the cultural environment punishes hesitation. If you take a pause, the system, the algorithm, the market, the competitor, leaves you behind. Consequently, flawed assumptions go unchecked, shallow initial ideas are never deepened, and moral compromises are made without true deliberation. The mind operating at this maximum acceleration becomes a surface skimmer, incapable of the intellectual and ethical gravity required to navigate complex problems, ensuring that your rapid movement only serves to accelerate you toward predictable errors. Psychologically, this replacement of direction with acceleration leads to a profound and debilitating misalignment of effort. You are working harder, faster, and longer than ever before, yet you often report a pervasive sense of emptiness or busyness without meaningfulness. This phenomenon is the direct result of applying maximum speed to minimal value. You expend 100% effort to achieve a 1% meaningful result, burning energy not on the things that align with your deepest values, but on the things that generate the fastest, most immediate feedback, the most accelerated reward. This relentless, misdirected effort is the engine of modern burnout, leaving you physically exhausted and spiritually starved, trapped in a panicked cycle of motion that offers the feeling of productivity while delivering existential dissatisfaction. In the social and relational sphere, the dominance of speed enforces a culture of disposability. Genuine connection, like true craftsmanship, requires time, vulnerability, and sustained attention. It requires patience. When your pace accelerates, the time required to understand, forgive, and patiently invest in complex human bonds feels like a crippling inefficiency. People become transactional entities. Fast friends, quick solutions, temporary partners easily replace the moment the connection requires effort. Ultimately, the danger of acceleration replacing direction is that it makes you exceptionally effective at pursuing things that do not matter. You become a high-performance vehicle on a detour to nowhere. The antidote is not to simply slow down, but to deliberately reprioritize direction, do away with the mentality of now. This means cultivating the patience to stop the machine, to endure the silence, and to engage in the difficult, unhurried work of determining purpose and value. Direction is a commitment. Speed is merely a convenience. The conscious choice to move slowly but surely toward a chosen, deliberate goal is the ultimate act of resistance against the tyranny of now, recognizing that a single step taken with purpose is worth more than 1,000 taken in a haste. The first thing you lose when you demand everything now is the ability to think deeply. Depth means taking time to understand, to put pieces together, and to truly wrestle with difficult ideas. Instant gratification trains your brain to expect answers right away. A quick summary, a fast scroll, a simple click. If a problem isn't fixed or understood quickly, you give up. Your mind becomes excellent at gathering facts fast, but terrible at digging down into the real meaning or the moral issues of anything. You end up knowing a little bit about a lot of things, but nothing truly well. This makes the mind wide but shallow. This fast food approach to life ruins your chance at becoming truly good at anything. Mastery is not a sudden win. It's a slow, steady improvement built through practice, mistakes, and trying again. The instant mindset tricks you into believing you can skip the hard part. When you start learning a new skill, it's frustrating. A lot of work for small results. Since impatience hates this period, you look for shortcuts, hacks, or simple guides. By refusing to patiently push through the necessary struggle, you limit yourself from ever becoming a real expert. You simply remain as a good enough beginner, never reaching the deep understanding that only time and patience can bring. This constant rush leads to what thinkers call a shallow spirit. Great philosophers taught that real growth comes from struggle, from facing challenges, and from having a long-term goal. But the instant culture of the now creates people who avoid all difficulty, choosing the easiest, fastest path to comfort. By always picking the quick fix, you miss out on the valuable tension and challenge that builds a strong character and lasting personal values. When everything is about the immediate moment, you lose the ability to plan a meaningful future that might require 5, 10, or 20 years of patient work. You get stuck in a simple, meaningless present. Instant gratification is always a lazy way of thinking and acting. It promises quick happiness, but always delivers delayed and hollow disappointment. To gain back depth, you must intentionally welcome things that take time and effort. You must become patient again. Read the long book, have the hard conversation, stick with the difficult new skill, and sit quietly with your thoughts instead of grabbing your phone. This simple choice reconnects the effort you put in with the value you get out, proving that the most important things in life, wisdom, love, true skill, and peace, are never instant. They are the slow, patient rewards of growth in fertile ground. Write this affirmation in the comment: I will train myself to wait. I will not rush what requires time to bloom. Let's talk about the anxiety of instant comparison. This is the cruelest side effect of the tyranny of now. Before the digital age, comparison was local and limited. You saw your neighbors, your colleagues, and maybe a handful of successful public figures. Now, through social media, you are instantly connected to thousands of people's carefully chosen highlight reels. The ultimate job, the perfect vacation, the sudden success, the major milestone. This creates a massive, false reference group. Everyone's best moments are instantly jammed together on your screen, making it feel like everyone else is succeeding at the same time, all the time. Your quiet, messy, normal life suddenly feels like a failure when held against this impossible, manufactured standard of instant success. This constant comparison forces a lie upon you, the lie of effortless speed. When you scroll through someone's timeline, you see the result, the finish line. You don't see the years of failure, the hours of boredom, the quiet self-doubt, or the immense patience that went into building that success. The tyranny of now makes you think that if it's not happening instantly for you, then you are doing something wrong. You look at the smooth, finished product of someone else's journey and feel deep shame about your own slow, necessary process. This pressure to match an unrealistically fast timeline is what poisons the pursuit of mastery, forcing you to try shortcuts that lead only to shallow, temporary achievements. The result is a terrible, invisible pressure cooker where everyone's timeline becomes your personal deadline. The moment a friend posts a promotion, your own career timeline seems too slow. When a friend shares a major life change, your own life feels stalled. This anxiety forces you into decisions that aren't right for you. You rush into buying the house, taking the wrong job, or starting the relationship, not because it's the right time, but because the universal clock of the internet says you are running late. This panicked acceleration replaces sound judgment with frantic reaction, leading to rushed commitments and decisions you eventually regret, all because you couldn't tolerate the slow, patient unfolding of your own path. Philosophically, this anxiety represents a profound act of self-betrayal. Your life, your journey, and your personal development are meant to follow a unique rhythm, your own inner timeline. When you constantly measure your progress against someone else's, you deny the importance of your specific challenges, your specific lessons, and your own unique potential. You trade your genuine purpose for a borrowed, generic goal. True freedom comes from focusing on what you can control. You can control your effort and your patience. You cannot control what others post or how fast they achieve things. Letting their timeline become your deadline means giving up control of your inner world to the chaos of external comparison. To break free, you must fiercely reject the idea that your life has to be completed by a certain age, or that your success must be instantly visible. The only way to defeat the anxiety of instant comparison is to consciously dismantle the universal deadline. You must choose to value your own steady pace over the frantic speed of the crowd. Turn off the noise, focus on the work right in front of you, and understand this. The things that truly matter, wisdom, strong character, and lasting achievement, are built slowly and quietly. Your most important deadline is the one you set for yourself, based on your own values, not the arbitrary, misleading highlight reels of strangers. Let me ask you a question. When did your progress start needing witnesses? Why does someone else's pace make you doubt your path? Make these affirmations. I am not late. I'm right on time for my own story. I will measure my life by depth, not by comparison. Let's talk about the necessity of boredom. Boredom used to be a necessary, even useful state. It was the natural pause, the quiet space between activities when your brain wasn't being told what to do. Before smartphones and endless streaming, when you had to wait in line, sit on a train, or simply finish a task, a gap of time would open up. This gap felt empty, maybe even uncomfortable, but it was essential. This emptiness was the space where the mind, having nothing immediate to focus on, would start to wander, to connect unrelated thoughts, and to process deeper ideas. Boredom was the quiet engine of imagination and reflection, forcing the brain off its well-worn path. The tyranny of now has declared boredom an enemy that must be destroyed immediately. You have learned to treat every free moment, even just a few seconds, as a problem to be solved with instant stimulation. You never let the gap appear. The moment the line stops moving or the conversation lags, the phone comes out, ready to deliver a hit of content, a quick distraction, or a new notification. This constant stream of external input keeps your mind perpetually occupied, but never truly engaged in deep thought. You have replaced the silent, internal prompt to create with the loud, external demand to consume. This instant consumption kills creativity because creativity needs an unscripted moment to be born. Think of the creative process like a deep well. To draw fresh water, you need to let the well refill. Boredom is the time the well refills. When you are never truly bored, your mind never has the chance to settle down, sort through the day's experiences, and combine old ideas in new ways. Instead, it is constantly recycling the shallow, pre-packaged information it just received. The great insights and wow moments, the ones that often happen in the shower or right before sleep, are the results of the mind being allowed to wander without a goal. By filling every second with instant content, you eliminate the necessary stillness that allows those deeper, creative connections to finally surface. Psychologically, the constant need for stimulation robs you of your inner life and self-sufficiency. The reliance on external devices to instantly fix boredom makes you emotionally dependent on the outside world. If the phone is the only thing that can rescue you from the quiet discomfort of your own thoughts, you lose the skill of entertaining yourself, solving your own problems, or simply being content in your own company. This dependency makes you fragile and less imaginative. True creative power comes from a deep, independent inner resource, but you are starving that resource by constantly feeding it external noise, making you fundamentally less original and more predictable. The vanishing of boredom is the fading of potential. To reverse this, you must consciously reintroduce empty spaces into your life. This means choosing to wait without distraction, sitting still even when it feels uncomfortable, and letting your mind feel that initial itch of boredom. This is not passive waiting. It is an active rebellion against the tyranny of now. It is the intentional creation of a fertile, quiet space where your best, most original thoughts, the ideas that require slow soil, can finally find the time and silence necessary to take root and grow. Here's another question. When was the last time you were truly alone, without trying to escape yourself? Write this affirmation in the comment. I will let silence speak, before I seek noise. My boredom is not emptiness, it's a creative space. The entire challenge of the tyranny of now is that you have swapped the deep, patient work of building a meaningful life for the shallow, endless cycle of instant gratification. Time has changed, from a tool for achieving mastery to a source of anxiety over delay. You are constantly wired to the immediate, demanding instant answers, instant fixes, and instant validation, which starves the future and kills the patience required for real depth. This obsession with speed has replaced direction with acceleration, leading to anxiety, intellectual shallowness, and a constant, panicked comparison to others' unrealistic timelines. The true cost is not just lost time, but the death of depth, as meaning, wisdom, and mastery can only flourish in the slow, unhurried soil you have forgotten how to cultivate. The call to action is simple but difficult. Choose patience over pressure. Begin today by intentionally creating a quiet space in your life, a moment of boredom, a commitment to a slow task, a decision to not check a notification. This is where your true power and purpose reside. Thank you once again for joining me on this exploration. Please subscribe to join this continuous path of difficult but necessary deep introspection. Until next time, be patient with your progress, because what grows slowly stays strong enough to last.